This is Marcus, and this story will absolutely blow your mind. Picture this: two soldiers, forbidden love, and a military policy that could destroy everything they've built. Marcus never expected to fall in love during his deployment in Afghanistan. He was focused, disciplined, a model soldier. But then came Jake. Jake was different. Where Marcus was serious, Jake brought laughter to their barracks. Where Marcus followed every rule, Jake bent them just enough to keep things interesting. The attraction was immediate, undeniable, and completely forbidden. Don't ask, don't tell was still in effect, and getting caught meant career suicide. For months, they kept their distance. Professional nods in the hallway, nothing more. But war has a way of breaking down walls. During a particularly brutal firefight, Marcus took shrapnel to save Jake's life. As Jake carried him to safety, something shifted between them. That night in the medical tent, with Marcus bandaged and vulnerable, Jake whispered the three words that changed everything: "I love you." What followed was the most dangerous romance either had ever experienced. Secret meetings in abandoned buildings, coded messages passed through mutual friends, stolen moments in supply closets where a single kiss could cost them everything. They developed an entire language of glances and gestures. A hand on the shoulder meant "I miss you." A certain way of adjusting his dog tags meant "meet me tonight." For 6 months, they lived this double life. To everyone else, they were just battle buddies who had each other's backs. But in the shadows, they were planning a future together. Marcus would finish his tour, Jake would follow 6 months later, and they'd start fresh somewhere nobody knew their story. Then came the night that nearly destroyed them both. Command suspected something. There were whispers, rumors, someone had seen them together. During a surprise inspection, they found love letters Jake had written but never sent. Marcus watched from across the compound as military police escorted Jake away. His heart shattered into a million pieces. The interrogation lasted 3 days. Jake never gave up Marcus's name. He claimed the letters were for a girlfriend back home, that he missed her so much he wrote things he'd never send. Somehow, incredibly, they believed him. But Jake was transferred immediately. Different unit, different base, different continent. Marcus thought he'd lost him forever. The war ended, Marcus returned home, and for 2 years he carried the weight of their secret love. He dated women, tried to move on, but nothing compared to what he'd felt with Jake. Then one day, his phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number, the coffee shop on 5th Street. Tuesday, 2 p.m. You'll know it's me. Marcus's hands were shaking as he walked into that coffee shop. There, sitting in a corner booth, was Jake. Older, a few more scars, but still the man who'd stolen his heart in a war zone. Jake looked up, smiled that same smile that had gotten them both in trouble, and said, "I told you I'd find you when it was safe." Don't ask, don't tell had been repealed. They were free to love each other without fear, without hiding, without code words and secret meetings. Marcus sat down across from Jake, reached across the table, and took his hand. For the first time in years, they didn't have to hide. The wedding was small, just family and a few close friends. Jake wore his dress uniform, Marcus wore his. The photographer captured the moment perfectly. 2 soldiers, 2 survivors, 2 men who'd found love in the most impossible circumstances. But the real victory came later, when they opened their home to other LGBTQ+ veterans who needed support, who needed to know they weren't alone. Marcus and Jake turned their forbidden love into a lifeline for others. Today, they've been married for 8 years. Jake teaches at the local high school, Marcus works for a veterans organization. They have 2 adopted sons and a dog named Charlie. Sometimes, late at night, they still speak in their old code. A hand on the shoulder still means "I love you," but now they can say it out loud, in front of anyone, without fear. Their love story proves that some connections are so strong, not even military policy can break them. Sometimes the most dangerous love is the one worth fighting for.